What if you knew the exact date you were going to lose everything? Would you party harder or plan smarter?
Centuries ago, somewhere in the American frontier, there was a prosperous territory called Duskvale. It had endless rivers packed with fish, golden wheat fields harvested 3 times a year, forests thick with timber, and mountains rich in minerals. Outsiders called it the Blessed Land. But Duskvale had a dark secret. Years before its prosperity, the land had nearly collapsed. A brutal drought destroyed crops. Families starved. Desperation spread like wildfire. In that chaos, the town elders made a deal with a mysterious force known only as the Pact Keeper, a shadowy presence rumored to live in the Blackwood Forest. The Pact Keeper made an offer. I will restore abundance to your land. But every 5 years, your most powerful leader must be sent alone into Blackwood Forest, unarmed, unfed, never to return. And if they refused, everything would be taken back. The elders agreed. From that moment on, every 5 years, a new governor was randomly selected. For 5 years, they ruled with absolute power. Most of them lived recklessly, luxury banquets, gold, indulgence. Why not? They had an expiration date. And every 6th year, they were dragged into Blackwood Forest. No one ever came back. The people of Duskvale lived in wealth, but also in quiet fear. Because no matter how rich the land became, the ending was always the same. Until the year a nobody named Samuel Carter was chosen. And everything changed. Because Samuel wasn't planning for 5 years of pleasure, he was planning for what came after. Most leaders celebrate power. Samuel Carter asked one terrifying question instead. When Samuel's name was drawn from the lottery chest, the crowd gasped. He wasn't wealthy. He wasn't famous. Just a thoughtful young man who spent his evenings reading borrowed books and helping neighbors fix fences. As the crown was placed on his head, he asked the council, "How much time do I have exactly?" 5 years, they replied. No previous governor had ever asked that. While tradition demanded grand feasts and celebrations, Samuel refused luxury. He ate the same simple meals he always had. People whispered that he was foolish. After all, wasn't this his only chance to enjoy life? But Samuel wasn't focused on enjoyment. He wanted clarity. He summoned accountants, land surveyors, trade experts. He studied the treasury. He measured incoming revenue. He analyzed wasted spending from previous administrations. He asked uncomfortable questions. How much do we actually earn? Where does it disappear? How big is Blackwood Forest truly? Is it survivable? The first year, he didn't change the kingdom. He changed his understanding. By the end of year 1, Samuel knew something no previous governor ever cared to learn. Duskvale was rich enough to build something entirely new, if the money was invested wisely instead of wasted. The people were confused. Why wasn't he celebrating? They didn't realize he had already started building his future. Because in year 2, people began quietly disappearing, and no one understood why. What if the smartest investment isn't money, but people? In year 2, Samuel began sending small groups beyond Duskvale's borders. 1 farmer here. 2 carpenters there. A blacksmith. A healer. Quietly. Gradually. Most citizens didn't notice. Officially, they were trade expansion missions. And they returned with tools, livestock, and supplies. Wealth increased. But there was more happening. Year 3, Samuel opened skill academies. Farmers trained apprentices. Builders learned advanced construction. Merchants studied interstate trade. He reduced taxes to encourage productivity. He incentivized skill, not status. The economy diversified. No longer dependent on just crops, now tools, services, trade routes. Meanwhile, every week, more skilled workers left toward Blackwood Forest. By the end of year 3, over 600 trained individuals had relocated in phases. No panic. No announcement. Just systems. Year 4, Duskvale's wealth doubled. Trade flourished. Citizens prospered. The council grew suspicious. Why are you investing so much in people who leave? They asked. Samuel smiled. Because he wasn't building a stronger Duskvale. He was building an exit. And when year 5 arrived, the forest wasn't what anyone expected. The day Samuel was supposed to die, he was smiling. As tradition demanded, he was escorted toward Blackwood Forest. The crowd wept. Unlike previous rulers, he was loved. One young apprentice, Ethan Miller, followed him. Inside the forest, instead of monsters and death, there were roads. Cleared land. Homes. Fields of crops. Workshops buzzing with life. Hundreds of former Duskvale citizens welcomed him. Over 5 years, Samuel had cleared sections of forest gradually, relocated dangerous wildlife, built irrigation systems, established farms, created trade routes, sent skilled workers in waves. What once symbolized death was now a thriving second territory. This, Samuel told Ethan, isn't an ending. It's prepared freedom. He didn't escape fate. He outplanned it. And hidden inside his strategy were 7 financial principles that can change your life. If you feel trapped financially, this is your 5-year wake-up call. Samuel's strategy wasn't magic. It was discipline. Here are the 7 principles. Clarity of numbers, know exactly what you earn, spend, and waste. Live below your means, freedom requires margin. Build systems, not savings alone, income-producing assets beat hoarding cash. Multiple income streams, never rely on one source. Skills over status, capable people create wealth. Titles don't. Compound small actions, daily improvements multiply over time. 5-year non-negotiable commitment, set a deadline. Make it serious. 5 years will pass anyway. You can consume. Or you can construct. You can party in Duskvale. Or build your Blackwood. The question isn't whether freedom is possible. The question is, will you prepare for it? Because 5 years from now, you will either enter the forest unprepared, or walk into the future you secretly built.
Then make sure you subscribe to the channel. Because we'll continue breaking down powerful ideas that can transform the way you think, earn, and grow. Subscribe now.